Yo, so this video is for people who are struggling with figuring out what they're meant to be doing right now. You know, you might be having a lot of things that you want to do, or maybe you're stuck and you feel like you can't do something. Maybe you're afraid, maybe you're struggling. Um, maybe you know you're an artist and you're pursuing a specific career and you don't know how to go about doing it. So lately, this past year, I've been making it a point to explore my interest while also figuring out a way to make money doing it, or at least, yeah, just attract all sorts of abundance into my life in terms of career and money and my business, right? Passions, interests, etc. So I've dove into many different kinds of things. And I'm continuously finding myself going everywhere, and I don't think that that's an issue. And I feel like I've realized that now that I've stopped thinking that it's an issue that I need to, zero in, focus on one thing, and just do that. I just can't do it. I don't have that kind of. Um, I can't do that because like my intuition is pushing me towards these different things, and I've found that naturally through exploring these different things, I've found a connecting line between all of them, and so I am enjoying this process of connecting the dots between these separate things. I mean, if you look at my desk right now, I'm going to show you. Like I have all these different books: Law of Attraction, A Brief History of Everything, Market Wizards, that's trading, Spiral Dynamics is consciousness, more trading, astrology, Tibetan Dream and Sleep, Yogas of Dream and Sleep, that has to do with lucid dreaming. And then we have something here on communication. So I've been looking into all of these things over the past week. All these books are books I either bought them or I started reading them again, rereading them over the past few weeks. And this is my journal here too. I've been writing a good amount lately, but of exactly where I'm at right now, which is this process, this constant flux of just different information, different categories, different goals. And honestly, what I've realized is that the goals that I've had are just completely gone. I'm not moving towards a specific goal. I found that there's much more resistance in me trying to be something. For example, me zeroing in and becoming a day trader, or me zeroing in and becoming a YouTuber, or me zeroing in and becoming, um, a specific thing. I have a lot of resistance towards that now, and it's become much clearer to me over the years, because in the past I was so dependent on trying to figure out, okay, do I want to okay, if I want to be a YouTuber, then there's these steps and this is the steps to success, and that's what I'm going to do. And I've tried it and it works, but it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't something that felt raw, that felt real to me. And that's the thing. That's the thing that I think a lot of people are struggling with. You know, trying to find something that feels real, that feels raw, that feels true, and is also something that other people will love. And what I'm gonna say is that I realized that through all of these things, it's not about what you're doing. It's not about what you do. Even the artwork or whatever you put out there, that doesn't really matter. I realized that, for example, I've made some YouTube videos that were zero effort, and they've had great results. And I've made some YouTube videos where I put in hell of effort, but they didn't get much of the best results. And I realized that if I want to live a life where I'm constantly producing good things and things that are fulfilling me, then I have to let go of the results. But more importantly, I have to let go of the project itself. I have to let go about all on I have to let go of the expectation of what these things can bring me. So, like a piece of work that took me 10 hours or versus a piece of work that took me 100 hours, each one of those projects should, got the amount of hours that they needed. If it was 10 hours that was worth it, that I felt was going to be what it needed, then I gave it its 10 hours, full its 10 hours. Or if it's going to be 100 hours, then I'm going to give it its full 100 hours. I'm not going to take any shortcuts, nor am I going to do more than I need to, more to compensate for something. And I feel like a lot of people often do it so that they either want to get it out and just be done with it, or they want to be able um, to reach out to people or to compensate for something, to make sure that they're doing everything that they can. And I think that in this world, in this style of seeing things, I'm seeing all of my outputs as art, as expressions of myself. and I'm not pedestalizing one specific piece. And so this has brought me a lot of clarity of mind, a lot of a huge sense of purpose, and also a lot of success. I mean, if I look at the just for myself, like I've made more money this year in my business than I have in any of the previous 4 years that I've had my business. It's not a lot. I think it's over maybe 1 to 2K that I've made, which is great because I'm figuring things out, and things opportunities keep presenting themselves to me. So 1 to 2K versus like $100, right, over the past year. So that is great progress. And so now moving forward in the next year, that we'll see how that goes. But that's just one example, right? And another example I want to say is that this also doesn't mean that I'm just slacking off, that I'm just not doing the work. What I've found actually is that because I'm so focused on what it is, like who it is I want to become, I'm making sure to double down on that. And so that's leading to me getting to a place where discipline is the line of least resistance. Often people find discipline to be a huge, line of resistance. It's a big piece of resistance for a lot of people. They can't do the thing when they need to. They can't get up at the specific time to do it, et cetera, et cetera. They can't execute. But for me, discipline, execution is the line of least resistance. So when I have something, I just do it. For example, like this video. I didn't take weeks or months to do it. I just sat down, wrote out my thoughts, and now I start recording. The same thing goes with like my food habits. I'm changing the way I eat. I'm eating less sugar. I've been waking up, and I automatically just within like I put in this routine of doing yoga. My body wants to exercise, and it's pushing me to move towards that end. And so I've done it. An interesting thing is that if I don't do it, I feel worse not being disciplined than I do being disciplined. So now you can see the shift there, that the line of least resistance is discipline, which is obviously going to be super important for me if I want to succeed, because I am doing what I need to be doing when I need to be doing it. Now, in terms of that thing, the point of the video is the comparison between focusing on what you do versus focusing on who you're becoming, and on who you are. This is a little bit alluding to the previous video, which has to do with aligning yourself first before, and then you'll attract what you're looking for. So what I've realized is that creation, manifestation, law of attraction, it's not so much about bringing things and doing consistent action. It's much more about being persistent in the consistency of thought. So persistence in the consistency of thought, that's what my higher self told me this morning. And basically, if I want to tune into my power, I'm not to put so much attention on the action, because the action it's only an effect of a cause, and the cause is going to be my state of being, and my state of being is trained by the persistence of the consistency of my thought. Meaning, I am persistent, and I have about what kind of thought I want to have, and I'm consistent about that on a repetitive basis. And that's three pieces right there. Persistence being my will, my desire to act on this specific desire concept, and then consistency being me showing up and doing it repetitively, and then thought being the process of me embodying that state of being and of thinking. And so this has led me to see that I'm throwing away all of what I used to think that I needed to become. I don't know who I am. I don't know I don't know what I'm becoming. I don't know where I'm going. But I'm honestly glad that, and I'm happy to, and looking forward to what is coming. Because right now I feel it's like I'm shifting more in terms of how I'm feeling and what I'm perceiving in the now versus what I'm lacking in the future. So instead of me thinking, oh, I don't have all the answers, I don't know where I'm gonna go, what should I do, how do I make more money, like that line of thought is diminishing, and now I'm much more centered on, okay, like how, just basically positive thoughts. I'm writing positive affirmations. I'm also focusing a lot on embodying my higher self, and I'm also just doing things that I love, like unapologetically. Like for me to be able to different books and not get frustrated at myself for being everywhere, that is a win within itself. And now I see that, I think that we are also moving towards that as a humanity, because um, the moment we stop defining ourselves by what we do is the moment we can get to true connection. Because most of the time people struggle to connect with others because they're using the labels of what they do to navigate the relationship, versus using who they, using the connection to their authentic selves to be able to connect. And so being able to express oneself authentically is a key indicator of this, of you having this embodied this concept. Being able to see the many in the one, being able to see the one person as many things, as a complex being, capable of bringing so much knowledge and wisdom and connection to your life. And then that also reflecting onto yourself as a complex being, who doesn't need to be held down. You don't need to hold yourself to a specific standard. You're walking your own path, and the beauty of it is that if we can all do this, then we will all create our own paths. It's like now we're in an age where we can create our own career. We can define the way we live. We can define the way we work. But that will all come from um, um, you being tuned in to this true self, and following that, rather than you trying to mold yourself into a specific path. And so the lesson here is that maybe you don't know what you're meant to be doing because it hasn't been done. Maybe what you want to be doing is what only you can do. Only you, as the one infinitesimal being, um, whatever is only the thing that you can do. And so when you find this thing, it's not going to be a specific thing. It's going to be a way of being. And when you find that way of being and you tune into that, and you access that flow, then you will be able to construct the path that is a beautiful reflection of the complex being that all human beings are. And I keep talking about the path, but I want you to know I don't really care about the path. I think that when I look at an artist, I don't glorify or pedestalize their work, their specific art. What I do is I see those as expressions of their divine being, and so I can hold their art or themselves in the same light, or even I hope to hold themselves in a higher light, because as seeing them as the expression of a much larger being, the expression of the universe. Um, so if you're struggling with this, maybe the path that you're looking for isn't out there because you're meant to create it. And and um and and so you need to stop defining who you are by what you do. You got to define who you are, by being that person, by training yourself to embody that, to by sticking true to your values, by sticking true to who you truly are, and making that your utmost priority before anything else. So it's not going to be about the views. It's not going to be about the money. It's not going to be about all of that, because you can get that, but it will become more so about bringing your essence forth into this world and creating something out of it, and having fun doing it. Um, yeah, that's it. And then I'll leave you with the quote here. If you define yourself by anything so, all right, let's see. So you must identify with the process of becoming, which is at the leading edge of all manifestations. The thing here is that the process becomes addicting, not the results. Results are finite. Process is infinite. So you're not going to define yourself by anything circumstantial. You define yourself as a cause, which you are. And the more you get in tune with this process of becoming, the more you will be able to generate the things that you love and that you so desire. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. It's your boy. Stay lucid. Peace.